Harry the Hornet says, well, I'm going to start a GoFundMe so I can buy out Bayern's buyback clause. He can't ever leave. Welcome back to 20 minutes of Watford chat. On this week's episode, we're talking about just how on earth has Owen Cundle landed at Watford, and more importantly, are Watford serious contenders this season? Our Southampton fan we spoke to reckons that you are. We'll get the panel's view on all of that. Plus, we're talking what's the biggest derby in the league this season. Are we missing Luton for a little bit of entertainment? We're talking third shirts. We haven't got one at the moment, but what's our favourite one to speak of? Plus, we're talking transfers, of course, as well. Welcome back to, the quickest Watford review you'll find on the internet with, of course, Rio, Luke and Aaron. You're all very welcome. We're trying to get to 200 in our little community. Press that subscribe button. If you think Watford are serious contenders, Rio, Southampton fans reckon that you're one of the best teams they've played this season, and we're quite impressed. I think they were surprised by how good you were. Have you been as surprised?
Well, they've only played 4 teams, so there's still quite a few to come. But if we play like how we did in the second half, then yeah, maybe I feel we need to have Bath from the off. And once that game as well was without Loser and Chapadazzi, and we saw how bad we were last season without those two, and we actually managed all right. So yeah, I'm feeling quite positive, but I still think there's a few more weeks till when we can really judge this Watford side. I think Coventry, for example, the last few seasons they've had a slow start, and then around October, November, December they really go on form. Could be the same with us.
Yeah, we were a bit worried about the manager, weren't we? I think Luke and the Charlton game, but have all those worries left now? Are we certain we've got his in game decisions are spot on?
I think, well, personally, I wasn't too fussed about the Charlton game. I knew that was always going to be a tough one, but I've been really, really pleased with how we've gone on since then. Southampton away, Southampton home, sorry, would have took a point. Swansea away would have took a point against teams who, especially Southampton, we think will be right up there. And I think what I was really pleased with is we battled really well. I think there was moments that we knew that they were going to control, and we sort of just accepted that, which I think I was really pleased with, instead of us sort of just losing it. And then we had our moments, which was basically when Barr came on and we used his impact to full effect. My only concern I've had is some in game calls that he's made, such as with Swansea, where it just seemed maybe the team was a little bit too tired and we didn't make the changes when it was the right time, and then they've got the goal. But I think what happened was with Southampton, he got it right. He worked out his mistakes and he made up for it. Brought on Bar earlier. And overall we were really good. And I think another day we could have even won potentially. But I'm really pleased with how he's done so far, and the owners seem to be, because they've backed him with signings as well. I think we could be floating the playoffs. Like I said, at the start of the season, I still am very confident with that.
Yeah, our Pompey fan says all is forgiven. By the way, that was
We'll
up
see
on
that when we play them next month. Oh no, this month even
yeah. Okay.
away.
Right, Aaron. Dan says, excellent result. Decent performance, especially in the second half. Disappointing, though, to concede from 2 set pieces, but there's plenty to be too positive about. And as for these wingers and free kicks, it's like the Barnes-Callaghan era all over again. Yeah, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, obviously can't comment on the Barnes and Callahan era, given that was way before
Yeah,
me and before the other two here too. But yeah, I thought it was a really good performance against a side that, I mean, everyone sort of has being fighting for those automatic promotion places. Yeah, the excitement we have watching Watford with the likes of Bar and now Irankundu in the team, it's just, worlds apart from sort of the previous seasons where we've had to see attacks of like Kayembe, Sissoko and Bayo as a front three. So yeah, it's night and day really. I think, like Luke said, as the games have gone on, we've been more and more positive. And I think, touching on what Rio said, this team isn't actually what we would maybe class as the best 11.
There's still
We've
about
got
5 more players.
Yeah, we've got our two arguably best players out still. We've got like Caleb Wiley still to come back in. I mean, no one's even thought about him, because credit to Mark Boller, he's been really solid. So I think, yeah, who knows what this Watford team could achieve? And I think the biggest thing really is going to be, can we keep everyone fit? Because I think if you can keep these star players fit, the playoffs really are achievable.
The uh, The positives kept on coming this weekend. Culture 4 says, good point, lots of positives, but, Rio, we need 3 or 4 more players if we're building that promotional squad. Now, we're recording this literally just as my clock looks here. We've got 10 minutes of the transfer window left. I mean, how many players do you think you are short of, not in terms of names, but in terms of quantity, to be a real challenger to the top, which is Borough at the moment?
Well, this last week we've signed 3 players, and Mendy, the other Mendy, and that right back today, who I forgot his name, is from Charolais. But in previous years, we've neglected some positions which we thought, yeah, maybe we'll be fine. Like, for example, Sissoko on the wing last year, Bayo or Jebson up front, even though it was obvious in January we needed improvements. And you could say, it wouldn't have been a surprise this window if we thought Ngaka and Andrews would have been fine at right back. But I think we've actually got a really good squad for the first time since we've gone down. It's really complete. And if we sign someone like Lovric, who from Udinese, their vice captain, who I think he's linked with AC Milan today, so no chance of that. But yeah, I'd give it maybe an 8 out of 10 window. It's way better than previous years, but we've got stronger, and so is the league, so it won't be an easy task whatsoever.
Good. Carrying on with the theme, Luke, Mr. Snowd says, I can't believe it's taken 5 managers and 6 years to realise we need to play 2 up front to make it a decent game. Does he have a point?
He does. I guess he's a clear fan of 2 up top, which I'm not the biggest fan of at all. But the first half we did do the right thing, I thought, where we played Koimagard up with Irankundu, where he was more like a 10, I would say, sort of doing the sort of dirty work, getting around the players and going from there. And then the second half we went to a 4, and then that's when we used the width with Bar, and I think that's where we saw a lot more improvement. But I think we found the right spot for Irankundu, which I think once Georgie's back, Irankundu will go on the wing, and then Georgie will go into that position he was playing in. Just because I feel like once Georgie's back, we're going to be stacked with wingers or players who can play in that sort of left side of a 10, which is going to be really exciting because, we're sent them over. Imagine Irankundu and Bar on the pitch at the same time and what they can do, let alone with adding Georgie and Loser to it. It's going to be something. It's going to be something good.
It'll be frightening, Aaron, isn't it? With them back.
Yeah, and I think it gives us something that some of the teams don't really have in this league, in the sense that there's actually many different ways we can sort of play. And if Paolo, I mean, he said in some of the stuff I read his coach's choice article, and he talks really strongly about not having one dimensional style of play, like a Russell Martin, essentially, like he plays one way, and when Russell Martin goes to manage a team, they're going to start playing that heavy possession football. Paolo really talks about being able to do different things, and I think with the combination of forward players especially, we can do that, because like we've seen, we haven't been starting Bar because we've been doing that like 3-5-2, but I think when Georgie comes back, you can still do that 3-5-2. You can drop him behind Irankundu and Luca, and then you've got Chat coming off of those knockdowns. Then, if we're struggling and we need to use the wing a bit more, you can swap that round. You can bring Bar and Vatter on. You can push Irankundu out wide. There's so many possibilities with those players, and if Paolo can get it right, we're going to be really hard to play against, because you might plan for one way of us playing, but you can't plan for another. We can just switch it up. Like, that's what I mean. It is so exciting to sort of be a Watford fan at the minute. You just got to pray that these players can stay fit and stay on the pitch.
Okay. We've got to throw a couple of negatives in there. I mean, this is a small one that our Southampton fans wanted to raise it with you, Rio. This is Southampton fan says, a competitive game. You need to sort out your away end, though. Not enough turnstiles were open, so lots of fans missed the start, and we only had 1 food kiosk open, and of course it was sold out at half time. Deliberate ploy to, keep the away fans.
That's been a problem for years. I remember, don't know if you guys remember, but played Sunderland when we won 2-1 start of last season, and at like the first minute of the game, like only half the away end was full, and then they kept coming in. But yeah, not great. And talking of food kiosks, it can't have been as bad as Charlton, could it, Luke and Aaron? That sold out at like midday.
Yeah, we're the only, or one of, I don't know if we are the only one who doesn't serve alcohol in the away ends. And I'll tell you what, we are missing so much money, because every game you go to, in terms of like person per pint, it's probably way higher in the away end than it is in the home ends. I really think we're missing from a financial perspective. I know because you've got the family stand next to it and you've got the Elton John where it's a little bit more quieter. but we must be missing on thousands in this game, surely.
The actual reason is because they can still see the pitch from the concourse, and therefore they aren't allowed to serve them alcohol because they could potentially stand in the concourse and watch. But I'm guessing with sort of the whole football, what is it they call it, the government football thing coming in, maybe that will start, becoming less stringent and they'll be able to. But I think it's just the location really, and I have always said, like, is there any chance we could move the away end? Because you can't really put it in the Graham
Do a
Taylor.
Wolves and
Don't want to put it in the Rookery. But I would consider personally maybe giving them sort of like that end of the Elton John stand where it sort of turns into the corner. Because, yeah, it is a bit of a nightmare with them only having that one sort of bracket of turnstile. You see a queue, any team that sells it out, you see a queue there every single time.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Southampton fans that wanted to have a go at you, though. We had Swansea fans last week. Of course, we weren't around last week because of bank holiday. But Holly says, you'd be a decent team if it weren't for your pathetic tactics in the second half that cost you the end. Alan said, embarrass yourself out there with all the time wasting at the end. You're a poor, poor side. And of course, I think Charlton had a bit of a dig at you, didn't they, for the dark arts. Aaron, are we seeing a bit of a nastier Watford side?
Yeah, do you know, I saw all these comments, and I have to say, I don't mind it, because time and time again, Watford have been the team to fall onto them. Funny enough, it was that we played Southampton the weekend just gone, because I distinctly remember when we played them under Russell Martin at home, and we did what Swansea did. They went 1-0 up, and then they just had the most awful second half of just falling for everything, not collecting the ball, keeper taking his time, and then we scored a late goal and it was 1-0. And I remember thinking, you be coming away from that game being so frustrated and thinking, why don't we ever do that? Because we're always too nice. I mean, I remember in the Premier League, we gave up a goal because Cabaselli flopped to the ground and we were expecting them to put it out. And I'm like, but they don't have to. Like that. We just never the nasty team. We always we're really sportsmanlike. And do you know what? I'm all for it. If that's what Paolo wants to get into them, and it gets us points, I'll take it.
I think it's a bit of managing the game as well. Like when we are doing it, it's not at random points of the game. It is when the pressure's on. We're trying to sort of take the sting out of it. Like when it was the bit with Swansea, it was when they were kind of sort of starting to get onto us. And I think we're just trying to take the sting out of it and get through that little moment. But that game, it did backfire. But it is one of those things. If it doesn't succeed, it always backfires. But I'm not against it. Good game management. Use it when it's needed.
Okay. We're not here next week because, of course, the international break is probably coming at the wrong moment for Watford, isn't it? With all maybe get both players back. But when we do return, Luke, it's a reunion with an old face in the opposition dugout. Yeah, Ishmael returns. Will he get a nice warm reception?
Yeah, I think he will. I don't think there's any no hard issues with him. I'd say I feel like we're okay with him. It didn't work out for him. It was a moment where the Pozzos weren't being the best to our managers, and I think we support that, and we'll probably sort of say, yeah, cheers. Probably be the same even when Rob Edwards comes to us from Middlesbrough. Obviously, it weren't going to be the same when he was with Luton, but yeah, I think as long as we win, I'll be quite happy, and as long as he doesn't celebrate.
Yeah, Blackburn are a better side away from home, Rio, than they have been at home. Do you expect any changes, or would you like to see any fresh faces for this one? It's hard to say, given you might have
the last couple of games, I think it's been our downfall, really. Like in the first half against Southampton and in the second half against Swansea, I feel maybe we're a bit too defensive. We didn't really have much going forward and we're a bit sloppy. So I'd like to see us ditch really the five at the back, to be honest. And I really want to see Barr and Irankundu on the same pitch. I think that'd be so fun to watch and take Kiembe out. So yeah, Barr in for Kiembe, and Vata didn't do bad himself when he came on. So yeah, we've got plenty of options going forward, and I'd like to utilise that by playing four at the back.
Okay, brilliant. Of course, also when we return, it's Portsmouth and Southampton, which is the first time that fixture's happened for 12, 13 years. One of our Portsmouth fans wasn't even alive. Was in nappies when it happened. Aaron, but I got us to thinking, what, in the absence of Luton, what is the biggest derby, do you think, in the division this season?
Oh, it's a tough one. It's either that one or one of the Yorkshire ones, like Leeds Wednesday or the Steel City derby, I think. I mean, that's off the top of my head. There's other ones, like you got like Coventry and Leicester and stuff, but I don't think they're as big. I mean, I wouldn't have even said that obviously us and Luton is that big a derby in the scheme of things. I think it's a fierce one, but it's not a big one. So yeah, I'd probably say either the Dockyard derby or the Steel City derby.
Yeah. I mean, are you missing? I mean, I know I've asked you this briefly before, Rio, but is it? I know you don't want them here, but are you missing like a big game everyone gets up for? I mean, you're not going to go up for QPR, are you? Or Charlton, or when Millwall visit, are you? There's nothing really for Watford.
Luke's missing Luton, but I'm fine without the stress personally. I'll happily see them rotting League One for years, and maybe when they've got their stadium sorted and you don't have to get a coach to the ground, we'll let them back up.
Right.
Oh, I miss them. I remember I said, I think at the start of the season, there's only, games you look forward to at the start of the season when the fixtures come out. There's not one I'm like, right, I need to make sure I'm there. Because I remember last year when we played Luton away, I was supposed to be on holiday and I was absolutely livid that I couldn't make it. I mean, my holiday ended up getting cancelled. Now I miss them a little bit because it's a game to look forward to. It's a rivalry. There's a game with a little bit more to it. I do not, but I do miss them a little bit because it's good to have the fixture and it's excitement for Watford fans home and away.
Okay.
And Luton fans probably say the same, like especially now they're lower than us, but they'd say the same. That it's a fixture to look forward to.
Okay.
If you could guarantee me 4 points, I'd have them back.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Let's chat the away shirt, shall we? Last time we were on here, we looked at the home shirt. Nice green effort this year, Aaron. Yeah, are you happy with it?
Again, I think it looks pretty decent without the sponsor. The sponsor just absolutely kills it. I mean, look, it takes something for the club to come out and go, we accept it's bad. You can buy it without it. Like, I've never seen a club do that in my life. That's to a company that is paying them all that money, and they've still come out and said that.
Even Harry the
yeah.
Hornet's wearing a different sponsor.
He has to be fair, because he appeals to kids, so he has to have a different one. That's why he didn't have one before. But I mean, I put a post yesterday. Yeah, he's got Skechers on the front, and it's in black, and it looks way better. And I can't fathom. Like, sure, you want your company to be on like the billboards, and that's the whole point that they bought the base on the shirt, is to put the name out there. But would you not want to like appeal to the team's fans a little bit? Who would like do something to not just pee them off? I don't understand Mr. Q's standpoint on that at all. And if I was the club, I would have just binned it off and tried to get the money from elsewhere at that point, because it's just a nightmare. But I'm glad we can buy it about it.
Okay. This is where Luke holds it up now, isn't it? And says he's invested now.
No, this isn't. I was thinking this the other day when I was at the game. I was like, I haven't seen one fan who's got from the Mr. Q thing. So I'm thinking from a selling perspective, the amount of shirts we're going to have with Mr. Q on, which won't sell because not many fans are buying it. One, because if you can get without a sponsor, you'll probably do it anyway. Two, it looks even worse with the sponsor. But to the original question on the away kit, I really like it. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh god, it looks like a dodgy chessboard." But I actually saw it in person straight away in the Watford shop in town, and I thought it's actually really nice. I think it's quite clean. It's something different. It's one of those sort of kits I think you can wear them more than just sort of at home or playing football with. It's like kind of like it goes nice with a pair of trousers. It's a nice stylish kit. I'm a fan.
Good. Yeah. And no third shirt yet, Rio. Are you expecting one or?
Believe
Yeah,
there's one coming.
yeah, I think it might actually be before the Blackburn game coming up. But yeah, I've saw a few things floating online about like it's themed maybe to Elton John. I don't know how that works, but they'll find a way. It can't be any worse than the home kit, and hopefully better than the second.
Can't wait to see that. Right. Really positive 20-minute chat this week. Brilliant. Look, if you've just found us, then you know what to do. We know there's loads of Watford content out there, but we'd love you to just press the subscribe button and join us each week on a Tuesday morning. You can download us on wherever you listen to your podcast from Tuesday from 7 a.m. and listen to us on the way to work, or you can watch us on Tuesday from 6 p.m. as well. Thank you to you three very much. Enjoy your week off from talking about Watford, and we'll see you at the other side of Ishmael's return. 3 points on the way. See you then.